see. So the two again, what's so funny is these are the two old like it's kind of Buchananite things of non-interventionism and then no immigration. Many Americans who otherwise see, I think these things would have been popular long before
Totally.
2016 if there had ever been a major party candidate that put it out there. I mean,
Right.
there was nobody in the primaries, even in both parties, really at any point during the Obama era and really the Bush era, where any of this stuff was actually on the ballot, even in the primaries. It says that a little more than half of the country expresses some desire to see Mr. Trump follow through with his harshest threat to deal with illegal immigration, deporting everyone living in the United States without authorization. Yeah. I mean,
yes,
that's
that is the super majority opinion.
Which of the following comes closest to your opinion about our nation's political system has been broken for? Oh, yeah, broken. 63% of Republicans, 57% of Democrats, and 59% of U.S. adults say it's been broken for decades. And 55% of Americans either strongly or somewhat support mass deportations. That's deporting, they say 11 million. It's closer to like, what, 15 million illegal?
Closer to 30 or 40.
Yeah, I mean, the actual illegal immigrants. It's probably, it's north of 15 million. I mean, you have any idea what that would look like? That kind of level of, I mean, we're not going to get even close to that. We're not even going to get.
People are saying that Trump was a 2 million Trump could deport. I mean, on what timetable? Because technically, Biden actually deported like 5 million immigrants. Technically, right? Yeah. That's only because a lot of them were coming in. Right. So, like, man, I don't know. You tell me what is even like the high estimate?
I think the high estimate is like 2 million. I mean, if I've been saying this for weeks, there are 1.2 or 3 million people in this country that there are already like they're criminal aliens. There's already like which is insane. There's like existing court orders ordering them out of the country, and they're not they haven't gone. So. And that's what he said. All the emphasis has been on we're going to go after them first. So if he got all of them, then it would be the largest mass deportation in American history. It would be slightly larger than the thing that Eisenhower did. That I don't know if I can say the name because I got in trouble on Twitter for using the name of the program. But that would still qualify as the largest deportation in American history in one go. But it would be, like a 10% of what has just come in the last 4 years under Joe Biden. So, I mean, this is the thing. There's all kinds of people. People are having arguments right now. We've been talking to people, friends of ours, and others. A lot of online commentators. I mean, one thing I'm glad to see is that no one seems to be just like trust the plan the way it was in 2017 and early 2018. It seems in dissident circles, unless you go all the way over to like the full Zio right on Twitter.
I disagree. I disagree. I'm seeing people
maybe it's just on Telegram again, but
I'm seeing people that identify as white nationalists going out there being like, "Ha, gotcha, Wignats. You're stupid Wignats." Like that's what they're doing. Really, the disconnect.
I haven't seen much of that, but
I've
seen people being like, look, the most I see is, well, we got to take the good with the bad, kind of attitudes. Sure. But I'm not seeing a lot of just like, hail President Trump, our leader, trust him, he's going to get it done. It's all part of the plan. Trust the plan.
The problem, here's what the absolute core issue is on the American right wing, right? With the radicals. It's that because people are sedentary, right? They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to do. I mentioned this analogy to someone recently. The Count of Monte Cristo, right?
Yeah.
So this guy is in jail. He's in a dungeon. And so the only option he has is to take a spoon and spoonful by spoonful dig a tunnel out to escape. And it takes him like 10 years to fucking do it.
Right.
Well, guess what? Get your fucking spoon ready. Okay? Start digging now with the spoon. Because they're not going to let you out without a fight. You need to go with your little spoon and start digging one spoonful by one spoonful. That is the only option we have.
That's a good analogy.
This whole idea that you can persuade the guard to let you out the front door is facially absurd. It's not how politics and power works.
Yeah.
So until you understand the gravity of the situation, you're going to have to dig with a spoon for 10 years. And remember, in the Count of Monte Cristo, the priest that was digging with the spoon, he spends 7 years digging in the wrong direction. And then has to take another 7 years.
Many such cases.
So again, knowing which direction to dig in matters as well.
Yeah.
So this is all, again, you're going to have to do it in the end.
What I was going to say was this. What I was going to say was, if leaving aside the question of like on the malevolent scale, is Trump like super malevolent, evil, like on the whole scale, like on the one end with Trump being he really wants to do the right thing. He's at nature, he's pro-white. In his heart of hearts, he doesn't like these Jews. In his heart of hearts, he wants to do right by America. He doesn't want war. He wants to. And then on the other end, like Trump is an active, like, he like thinks, he gets up every morning. How do I serve Jewry? How do I help Jewry destroy the white race? Wherever he falls on that spectrum, okay? His innermost thoughts, his nature, his state of mind, which I think changes from moment to moment.
I disagree, actually, but you can
continue. But let me just say, on a systemic level, let's look at this on a systemic level. On a what was the old critical race theory idea of institutional, like on an institutional level? I get the feeling, I get the impression that it's like, turn it on, turn it off, hit the off switch, turn it on again, turn it off. If you're firing a fully automatic weapon, you can't just hold the trigger down or it'll ride way up on you. You got to use controlled bursts so that you can control it, so you can control the recoil, so you can keep it on the target. I think that, the thing that I said on Telegram that I stand by is people really celebrating Trump being in right now. We had Reagan in 1980 and the country was 80% white. And when Nixon got in, the country was 85% white. And I said that by the time Barron Trump gets elected, it'll be 12% white, and people will be like, "Yes, we're winning!" To me, the thing that we go through these cycles where it's like, oh, far left. For 60 years, since the end of World War II, we go through these cycles where it's like anti-white, far left. I can't take it anymore. Anything, just give me a Republican. Any Republican, please. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God, we're safe. Yeah. We're safe. It's okay.
There's a psychological thing going on.
But then the problem is, every time you go through this cycle, at the end of it, the country is less white. Much less white.
It's less white.
Much
it's more
white.
gay.
It's more gay.
It's more repressive.
The Jews are more powerful. The middle class, actually, this is the other thing that is so much of what is getting in. Like, even if Trump was doing all these good things for the white race, quote unquote, and I say it like that because none of it's actually for white people, obviously. It's for America, it's for Union Americans, it's for everything except, it's never done explicitly. So even if wink, wink, nod, nod, he's doing all these good things for white America, the plutocracy that is getting in right now, I don't know. I did see clips from the inauguration with the billionaires. I was talking about that before you got on. This is enshrining plutocracy. This is robber baron era on steroids. This tech bro mafia of super billionaires. I mean, does anybody think Wall Street? There was an article about how Wall Street is so happy about Trump being back in. Does anybody think that at the end of these next 4 years, the super, super, super rich who have gotten richer and richer COVID, it just shot it up to the moon, are not going to come out of this more powerful, with more power over our lives than ever before, and the middle class weaken. So it's like there's so many things here. Every time we surge this, a Republican, just give me a Republican, make the pain stop, so that okay, it's stopped, I get a little breather. Materially, we are so much worse off as a country every time, and we will continue to be after 4 years of Donald Trump. So no matter what you think of him, whether you think he's a well-meaning, sincere, secret white nationalist or not, unless that cycle stops, at the end of this, we're going to be worse off. So,
well, the argument I see people make is that, well, Trump wants to do these things. It's just that they're not letting him. Right. I actually will, all the way to the root of this, dispute that. Okay? Yeah. I actually don't think Trump is against even illegal immigration. How do I know this? Go to his fucking golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's all illegal aliens working there.
Right.
I was joking on Twitter where I said the Democrats in New Jersey should just do like an immigration raid on Trump's properties and really embarrass him like that. Because I'm telling you, everyone from the guy mowing the lawn to the guy who's the waiter to the persons that are working, making the maids at the Bedminster property for Trump is some kind of Guatemalan illegal alien. So the guy doesn't even have enough respect for you to even look like he cares. Okay? If you're doing Trump again, we have the perfect analogy. The people that are hodling Trump coin, that's you. You're the jackass that's still holding on to Trump coin. You're the jackass that bought into it, got rug pulled, and now is saying, buy the dip. That's you, okay? There's nothing. At some point, you have to stop blaming Trump, and you have to start blaming his fans. Because, it's public record. Did you know that 80% of Trump's net worth now is all from this crypto scam he's running?
You said this. Do you have a source for that? Do you have a source for that?
Yes, I do. I go
Send
look
me
it
a
up
source
online.
for that, because if that's true, that is
Yes.
shocking.
Okay.
That is outrageous.
I'll give you the link. And here it is. This is from the Fortune magazine. It's not even a secret. The only thing that's mystifying to me is why Trump isn't being prosecuted for this. This for all you crypto bros out there, this is actually an existential threat to the very concept of crypto that Trump is doing this.
Trump's 80% stake in his meme coin is a huge red flag for investors because a rug pull to bolster the president's riches but torpedo his reputation. This is from yesterday.
Here, I'll send you the one that says his net worth.
Launched his meme coin $ Trump days before his inauguration. If affiliates of the Trump organization, which owns 80% of the coin, suddenly sell their shares, it would pad the president's pocket at the expense of investors. Made him a crypto billionaire nearly overnight.
Well, Elizabeth Warren is actually investigating it in the Congress. I mean, he should be impeached for this, frankly. Look at this. This is from the Senate banking.
Oh, my God. This is the kind of shit that's going to ruin Bitcoin for everybody else, too, because it's like, it's so... United States Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. Warren... Auchincloss investigate Trump meme coins, raise concern about consumer ripoffs, foreign influence peddling, conflict of interests. On Friday, January 17th, President Trump launched a meme coin for less than $10 per coin. By Sunday, the price reached approximately $75 per coin before falling to $33.88 on Monday. On Sunday, First Lady Melania Trump launched her meme coin Melania, which was launched at $7, increased in value overnight to 12, and has since dropped to 4. Nearly overnight, President Trump and his wife's net worth skyrocketed to $58 billion. What? What?
Yep.
What?
Yes. Yes.
$58 billion? I
That's
mean,
right.
like, Trump's, what was his, I just looked up his net worth when he was at the inauguration. What the hell was it? Oh, that was that was on the okay. I'm getting my dates wrong, but still, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's most of his net worth.
Dump their, yeah, of course. Dump their, what? Wait a minute. That is just like, I mean, I guess to the victor, but to the victor belongs the spoils.
I mean, even the pastor, they have some black pastor that was at Trump's inauguration, I think. He launched a meme coin. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So here's one. Here's one from today, saying 50% of his net worth is crypto.
Okay, there we go.
Will establish strategic Bitcoin reserve, but this is, yeah. Okay. So more than 50% of the President Donald Trump's net worth is now held in the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah. There you go.
But I mean, again, the thing of using the presidency and him getting elected as an opportunity to shill a meme coin.
Yeah, a shit coin.
Oh my God.
A shit coin.
I'm surprised there isn't.
I mean,
you know why there isn't more? I'll tell you why there isn't more attention being paid to this. For the same reason Elon Musk gave a Sieg Heil salute and the ADL and Netanyahu. Both of them are like, no. I don't see any anti-Semitism.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that.
I
love that. The same Jews that see Hitler in their morning toast are fucking going out there saying, I didn't see anything. I saw the guy throwing his heart out to people. What do you mean he's Sieg Heiling? We all saw it. It's what it looks like.
Yes, it is.
The question now is
the meaning and ideology of it are not, but the gesture is. The gesture is.
Yeah. The question now is: was Elon Musk just like flying down Sunset on tons of ketamine and just acting like this, or was it some kind of psyop?
So two. Well, here, wait a minute. Let me a couple of things here. Let's let the audience judge for themselves. In case anybody, it's possible somebody hasn't seen it. Here he is doing it. I mean, again, what Elon did here is not remarkable.
No.
I mean, it's somewhat remarkable, but it's not really worth us talking about it. But the reaction of Benjamin Netanyahu and Jonathan Greenblatt, that is worth talking about. So here he is.
There are elections that come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Oh, come on! Come on! And then watch him do it again. Wait, no, keep playing it. He does it again.
He does it again?
Look.
My heart goes out to you. There's thanks to you.
But that was, it's like Dr. Strangelove, when he can't stop himself, his arm keeps, Peter Sellers, his arm keeps hiling. So now, here are the two headlines about this. I mean, again, this is like total upside down world we're living in. Times of Israel. Netanyahu defends Elon Musk after he's accused of giving a Nazi salute. Prime Minister says billionaire ex-owner is a, quote, great friend of Israel and is being falsely smeared over a gesture he made during the Trump inauguration. He wrote on Twitter. And Elon said, thank you to him. And then this, Al Jazeera is attacking Jonathan Greenblatt. for being too anti-Semitic.
The funniest,
ADL faces backlash.
the most hilarious thing about this instance is that Gentile leftists are all whining about it. They're like, we
Yes,
know what
I
we
know.
saw, and they're getting mad at the Jews
Powerless
because
people in America.
yes, they're getting mad at the Jews because the Jews are like, what? I didn't see anything. I didn't see nothing. What do you mean? I didn't see anything. And so that tells me that something's up here, right? Because again, Jonathan Greenblatt sees swastikas in his Fruit Loops everywhere. Like that is literally known for just making frivolous accusations of anti-Semitism all over.
Look at this. Months earlier, he compared the Palestinian keffiyeh to the Nazi swastika.
Yeah.
If you took a list of the top 100 things, the most ridiculous things that that Jonathan Greenblatt has gotten. I mean, in fairness to him, it's actually his business, to be offended by things. Like he's specifically in that business in the anti-Semitism business. So but yeah, like something that is this. Oh yeah, and that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tried to police Netanyahu. This is the funny. This is what you're saying. Gentile leftists, including AOC,
right?
Powerless. How you have
no power.
Just
irrelevant.
Look. So here's the ADL. They said this is a delicate moment. I mean, this is a delicate moment. It's a new day, and yet so many are on edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute. But again, we appreciate that people are on edge. In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath. This is a new beginning. Let's hope for healing and work towards unity in the months and years ahead.
You know what this kind of gaslighting reminds me of? It reminds me of the shit with the Ukrainian Nazis, where like there are legitimate people that use the swastika and claim that are self-described neo-Nazis that are not just fighting in the Ukrainian army, they're like the leading elite units of it, the Azov battalion. And when the Russians pointed this out, they probably thought they'd be like, when the Jews see this, they're gonna turn their backs on the Ukrainians. And lo and behold, they do it, and the Jews are just like, what are you talking about? I don't see any Nazis. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So you have to understand that Jews are so cynical that they will quite literally deploy Nazi aesthetics and Nazi propaganda. Even I was surprised when they did this. But I've learned this from the Ukraine conflict, that if it's useful, if it's good for the Jews, they will literally support neo-Nazi aesthetics.
Well, that's what's crazy to me is that we for years and years and years and years we've been predicting. I've been predicting. You predicted it. Kosher, openly pro-white kosher stuff like. We've seen it. Laura Loomer is a great example, but somebody like Jeremy Carl is the intellectual vanguard of this.
Yes.
But I remember even with when I was on FTN, Jazz and I discussed the possibility of an approved, and this went back to Arthur Finkelstein and the stuff that he unearthed with the way he backed this gay Republican Jew, backed Viktor Orban early in his career and made George Soros the enemy. And we talked about the possibility of a kosher anti-Semitism, an approved kosher anti-Semitism when it's tactically advantageous. This is even further than that. This is a kosher Nazism. It's it's
right, because it's not like it's in a vacuum, because on the surface you'll even see Elon Musk on Twitter amplifying like pseudo racist and Nazi-esque stuff. Now it's not the real thing, right?
They use Pepe the Frog. It's just, and it's. But anyway, this is the most remarkable thing that we've ever seen from the ATL. And like, so look, here's them. They're trying to like get
trying to get Jews to care.
Trying to get Jews to care, and AOC says she tries to police Jonathan Greenblatt. Just to be clear, you were defending a Heil Hitler salute that was performed and repeated for emphasis and clarity. People can officially stop listening to you as any sort of reputable source of information now. You work for them. For who? The Nazis?
Well, you know what the frustration for the left is that when they say Israel
right now.
Well, no. When they say like we should stop giving Israel weapons to kill children, the ADL calls them anti-Semites, and then when Elon Musk goes out there and goes, "Sig Heil, Sig Heil," the same ADL is like, that's just a gesture from the heart. It's not anything.
Yeah. That's just where people are on edge right now. We need to take a deep breath.
Right.
But the fact that Netanyahu also, I mean, like it's basically like the two most evil Jews on planet Earth, like the two worst, the two most powerful. I mean, there are more evil Jews, but you won't get another confluence of evil and power that you get with Netanyahu and Jonathan Greenblatt.
Yeah, people have to understand. Jews don't care about what's true or false. Politics for them is interpretive. It's whatever works for them in the moment is the politics that they will chameleon-like, they will shapeshift into. Yeah. So you can go and appeal to this all you want, but at the end of the day, they don't care if it's a Sig Heil or not. They have an agreement behind the scenes with Elon Musk to create a fake right wing that taps into this online right wing, 4chan, vitalism, bat. They want to utilize that as American soft power. I already talked about this before where I said, in the 60s, the American deep state, the CIA, the Jewish lobby, all of them, got together and created a fake left to be a sort of competitor for the Soviet Union, right? Why wouldn't they do that now, especially now that Russia has staked its soft power international reputation on being the right-wing response to Western liberalism?
Right.
Like, this is actually smart. You take that, you create a fake controlled opposition version of it, and utilize it to destroy the thing, right? The concept of a vaccine is to take a little bit of the virus and tweak it and then inject people so that they can become immune to it. That is exactly what's happening here. Do I have like the smoking gun on how this is working? No, but it'll come out eventually. Okay.
This is. I mean, like this is all you need to know, though. I mean, this is one of the most striking things. I hope people will remember this. Elon Musk gives a Heil Hitler salute on live television, and Benjamin Netanyahu and Jonathan Greenblatt jump to his defense and say, "Oh no, he's not. He's okay. He's all right." I mean, it's that's how you know, like, that's how you know Elon Musk is bad. That's how you know Elon Musk is really, 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 really bad, and his agenda is very bad. And that's the other thing with Donald Trump, Joe, is just like, because I'm hearing mixed signals. I was listening to Ryan Grimm earlier today, and he was talking about some of his, let me play devil's advocate with you for a second.
Okay.
He was talking about some of his Department of Defense, and I didn't get a chance to go through the list, but apparently Trump has fired a lot of the worst Iran hawks at the
and
Department
hired
of Defense.
Some good guys, supposedly.
It's
yeah. I can tell you what's happening. Continue.
Okay, well, you go for it, because again, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, does Trump, everybody says this. I was listening to Douglas McGregor was saying the same thing, that Trump temperamentally is not a warmonger. Now, I will say, going back 25 years when he was running against Buchanan, I remember Trump was never a saber rattler like we need to go to war against this country or that country. He's just not one of those Lindsey Graham types. There are certain people that are that way. Trump isn't one of them. So what's going on with these firings?
So the basis of this is that he fired Brian Hook, and he hired Michael Dimino, who's from the Quincy Institute, who is he's not anti-Israel, but he supports reducing support for Israel, right? So what's actually going on here, right? Well, my estimation is that, Trump has made this very clear, Steve Witkoff, all these people. The first step in containing Iran and destroying Iran is to get all the Sunni Gulf countries to make amends with Israel, the Abraham Accords, right?
Right.
Here's the problem. After 1 year of the Gaza genocide, and I can show you the ADL did the survey. We talked about it last week. There's an ADL Ipsos survey that found 95% of Saudi citizens agree with the view that the United States is controlled by and for the Jews. Okay. So if you're Donald Trump, what is your number one diplomatic barrier to getting Saudi Arabia to align itself with Israel? Well, the answer to that is the Saudi people. They are not even going to consider any kind of resolution like that. The very fact if MBS is seen in public with the Israeli government right now, I mean, he'll just potentially be overthrown. So what is going on here? Well, the first step out of the hole, the diplomatic hole the United States is, where we saw 2.2 billion people in the world, most of them in the global south, because America's grip on the minds of people in Eastern Europe and Africa and in Asia is weakened because of the sheer fact that American power is weaker. So those people now are they're just making judgments based off of what they see. And their judgment is that America is a Jewish-controlled dictatorship. And so Trump has to figure out a way to convince these people that it's not. And this whole thing where they're going to try to have people that go on television, like Fox News, that are skeptical of a war with Iran, of things like this. That's all part of the act. Because at the end of the day, we can look at the guy playing a minor, policy role, Michael Domino, in the new Trump administration. But don't forget, who's playing the big roles? Marco Rubio, John Ratcliffe at the CIA. Yeah. John Ratcliffe at the CIA has said openly that he plans on overthrowing the Iranian government and putting the Shah in power there. His guy is the Shah, the Shah who's in exile. Their plan is they're going to overthrow the Iranian Republic and replace it with the Shah, the monarchist.
Yeah.
That's what Trump's CIA director said. Marco Rubio is on record saying he wants to bomb Iran. Pete Hegseth says he wants to bomb Iran. So, sure, yeah, a minor advisor gets fired and replaced with someone from the Quincy Institute. But how can you ignore all the big players that are running the show? Like, how can you ignore that? What do they say?
This is why I do this show with you, because that is the perfect intelligent way of looking at this. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's looking at the big picture in the context of what's going on, and that makes total sense, because that's the other thing. See, here's the problem with this. The problem when I hear stuff like this firing of Brian Hook, it doesn't, like, if Trump's policy was, people want to start with the thing, okay, Trump's policy is war with Iran. That's what the neocons, that's what Miriam Adelson, that's what Netanyahu, that's what they all want him to do. So that's his policy. Wait a minute, but this doesn't fit with the policy. Okay. And then, there's an explanation, or there's not an explanation. You offered a very, cogent explanation there. But let's take it in reverse. What if assume Trump's policy is he doesn't want to go to war with Iran? Now, how do you explain all these other people in all these other positions? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's much harder to explain that. Like, either Trump is leaning towards conflict with Iran or away from conflict with Iran. And if his policy is the one, then this firing of Brian Hook jumps out as an anomaly, and it's something, okay, well, this is a little confusing. But if it's the other way, is anyone actually saying that he doesn't want it? Because if he doesn't, like you said, why are all these people like Ratcliffe and Hegseth and Rubio in the positions that they're in? Let alone what's her name, Elise Stefanik at the UN, and the ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, who are just foaming at the mouth, so-called evangelical Christians, which is just, to me, it's a way to put a religious covering on taking money from Jews.
It's a way for white people to get the blame. White Americans get the blame for the Zionist policy. It's just insane that there's actually a white man that'll be like volunteering for that position to get the blame for it. You fucking asshole.
Yeah. I mean, and Witkoff, okay, so here's one today. Trump to appoint Witkoff to Iran role.
Yes. Here's what the actual game plan is, okay? I'll put it out. Their idea is that they're going to distract the Iranians with a $100 bill on a fishing line, and the Iranians, if they're stupid, will chase it down the street. And while that's happening, they're going to try to figure out a way to peel China and Russia away from Iran. Because my understanding of what Trump's diplomatic approach is going to be is he wants to divide and conquer Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. As we saw last week, Russia signed, basically not a mutual defense pact, but just short of it with Iran. They formalized it. China has its own. China is sending missile fuel to Iran as we speak for their missile program. So Trump's idea is, I'm going to go to each one of these people bilaterally and offer them exclusive deals in exchange for breaking solidarity with the other. And then when they're all divided, we'll fight them one at a time. The problem is the Chinese, the Russians, and the Iranians and the North Koreans know that you're doing this. How do they know? Because a lot of Trump's emissaries go on television and say that's what they're doing. Yeah. So they know, and they're not going to fall for it. I know this because they tried to do this with the Ukraine war. Every single Western think tank and foreign policy analyst was saying, we can offer China a series of carrots and sticks to boycott Russia along with the international community. And guess what? The Chinese are like, oh, so you want me to help you destroy Russia so that you can be free to destroy me after? No, thank you. So they're counting their eggs before they hatch on this. Okay? They think that they're going to make some kind of agreement with Putin on Ukraine in exchange for him cutting ties with the Iranians, and it's clear that they're not going to do that.
China and Russia today, actually, they're making big. Well, here's a Deutsche Welle. They
China and Russia have had a phone call discussing how to build ties with U.S. President Donald Trump. Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin also talked about deepening their strategic relationship, something that worries the West and could also pose a challenge to Trump as he starts his second term in office.
Three very different men at the head of three very different countries. But they share one thing: they all want to change the status quo in a big way. For Donald Trump, that means insulting and threatening allies that he says are ripping off the US, and meeting the leaders of hostile foreign powers. He said he wants another meeting with Vladimir Putin of Russia very quickly, after years without a direct line of communication between Washington and the Kremlin. For Putin and China's Xi Jinping, it means a friendship with no limits, to undermine the US-led West. They've built up alliances of their own, like the BRICS group of developing countries.
Blah, blah, blah. They had a big public phone call, and they basically, they made a big show in the last day of strengthening ties. So I think they're sort of like
we're a package deal. That's what they're saying to Trump.
Yeah.
We're a package deal.
Yeah, what we said about Iran last time, that if this isn't actually a mutual defense pact, then what is the thing? Well, part of it is to signal that you're
Yes.
not going to that if Putin, makes a negotiated deal with Ukraine,
Right.
he's not going to he's not going to break with Iran. And so
No.
this seems like the same thing, only even bigger between China and
Yes.
Russia, that they're signaling that they're, hey, we're best buds here. We're a package deal,
We're
like
a
you said.
team, right?
Yeah.
We're a team, and
Yeah.
you're going to negotiate on our terms.
Yeah, the video call lasted more than 1.5 hours, and emphasized their close ties. Emphasized Russia-China relations are based on shared interests, equality, and mutual benefits, noting they don't depend on internal political factors and the current international environment. We jointly support the development of a more just, multipolar global order and work to ensure indivisible security in Eurasia and the world as a whole. So, and Putin apparently today got all emotional over Gaza. He was talking about Gaza and what a terrible thing it is. See,
well, how could you not?
well, and it's in their
horrific.
interest. It's in their interest to keep bringing it up too. Now that it's paused, at least the mass slaughter has paused. These guys are going to keep mentioning it because it's so devastating to American soft power. Another thing, did you see, Joe, that Trump, among the things that Trump rescinded, one of the things that he rescinded was this sanctions against some Israeli settlers, and it was like, I think it was like 85 individuals. I mean, it was a token thing that the Biden administration did, and it was like 85 of the most bloodthirsty, like criminal Jew settlers, murderers.
Pause yourself right there. It's not a token thing. What it is that the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, their legitimacy depends on the idea that dealing and negotiating with the West and with the Jews is a more effective way to fight for Palestinian rights than what Hamas is doing. That's where their credibility all hinges.
Right.
The problem is it's not true. But the United States has to at least throw them a crumb so that their people don't overthrow them. Right. Trump is of the opinion that you don't even have to do that.
We're taking back the crumb.
Taking back the crumb. And you know what's going to happen? All that's going to happen is that Hamas is going to take power in the West Bank.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Well, did you see there were riots? There was a thing that happened. So there's problems in Israel right now because when the prisoners got freed, I don't know if you saw this. When the prisoners got freed, some of the Palestinian political prisoners that were exchanged as part of this, were released as part of this exchange. A bunch of radical Jews rioted, and they just attacked the West Bank Palestinians, and were just inflicting mass chaos and casualties. The Israeli police intervened, and they saw these Jews masked, and they thought they were Palestinians, and they shot 2 of them. And now there's riots apparently against the police because they didn't mean to shoot them. They thought they were Palestinians, and that's why they shot them.
No,
so
Israel is a shit show. It's a shit show.
Yeah, they shot 2 Jews, and now that's what's going on right now over there. But yeah, so this is the Trump approach. Just give Israel everything,
even the crumbs, even the crumbs. Because it's all transactional. If a mentally ill person like Miriam Adelson, who's an Israeli agent, if that person says, this is what I want, right? I want you to let Israel annex the West Bank with full U.S. permission. They're going to do it anyway, but with U.S. permission, symbolic permission, and you give Trump $100 million, he'll do it.
Yeah.
That's that simple. Okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is that's not good diplomacy, because now all of a sudden, the whole power of dividing and conquer the West Bank and Gaza is that you put the $100 bill on the fishing